Okay, so pure core this morning, focusing on everything around deep abdominals and lower back and mid-spine. Okay, so getting a warm up. So we stand with the feet hip distance apart. All right, engage those deep core muscles, pelvic floor and deep abdominals, and then just take it into a gentle twist. All right, so we're just going to rotate through that middle spine. Start to pivot through the feet a little bit as well, get a little bit more range. And throughout this short practice, make sure that you are breathing. I'll keep reminding you about breath and engaging those core muscles. And remember, you're trying to work at your level, pushing it where you can to around about 80% of your max throughout. And I'll be giving you variations of exercises. So sweeping up and sweeping round. So just working through the spine. All right, listen to your body on this. Goes deep into that and feels good. Softening the knees as much as you need. Coming up to the top, take an in breath and then sweep around. So side, front, top, down, all of that. And breathe. And release. Okay, take the hands behind the head and just bring a knee up and bend at the waist towards that knee. Okay, so into the hips here, to the ribs. Exhale down, inhale up. That's with the elbow. And release. Okay, let's step one leg forwards and the other leg back. All right, and just get yourself into a nice stance with those feet hip distance apart in width. Now we'll just reach up and come down. Reach up in here. And exhale down. So just working into the spine, into that forward flexion and extension. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to come back. And you can straighten that front leg as much as you like to get a bit of stretch into the hamstrings. And one more. And let's change legs. Reach up, inhale. Exhale down. Breathe in to lift. Open the chest, little back bend. And exhale down. And then coming up and take the feet out wide. Okay, stretch the arms out. We'll do a standing saw. Twist in here. Exhale, reach. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. Breathe in, twist. Exhale, reach down. So should be feeling a little bit warmer. All right, so we're going to come to the back of your mat. Feet hip distance apart. We're going to take the chin to the chest and just roll down through your spine from your neck, from your shoulders, from your upper back, from your middle spine, and through to your lumbar. And that stretch into the back of the body. So when we're hanging there, we are engaging deeply through your center, okay? So don't just let yourself relax into that, but then also feel that stretch into the back of the body. Roll back up again, slowly. Restack the spine, and chin to chest, roll down. Try not to let your hips stick out. And all the way down. And start bending the knees. Bend, stretch, bend, stretch. So let's bend the right leg and straighten the left and take the left arm up. So your right hand will be down floor or leg or foot. And then change, bend the left leg and open up on the right. And then soften those knees, take the hands to the knees and look up, inhale, send the tailbone away, scoop the belly in, and then tuck the chin, and then rounding the back, and then tailbone, and look up, and then tailbone tucks, and scoop the belly, and inhale away, lift the chest, arch the spine, and exhale into your cat. And one more, inhale. And exhale into your cat. And then roll it up all the way. And reach up. So we're going to start our first exercise. So we're going to roll down. And we're going to walk the hands out to come to a high plank position. Okay. And we're going to hold that position for a moment just to get ourselves steady. Okay. If you're not liking this being in a high plank, you could come down to a low plank, all right? So we're going to bring knees in slowly, keeping the body still. So we're either doing this in a high plank, or in a low plank, or maybe in that low plank, maybe we can have knees down and just stretch away with one leg. So if it's too much into your high plank, I'd suggest coming down to your knees and doing this and stretching back. Otherwise, high plank, keep the hips the same height. Breathe, abs nice and tight, body nice and still. Stay with your breath. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just take the stretch back into child's posture. Then we're going to roll round onto your back. And we're going to just take the legs up into a knee fold position, knees and hips aligned. Okay. Chin slightly tucked, hands lightly on the floor, and toe tap. Exhale down, inhale up. So we can also check in with the ribs here, hands on ribs or hands down by the hips. So we don't want to flare up through the ribs, so not changing that position in the spine. Tapping down. If it feels too much, keeping the legs up, then you could have one leg down and just do one leg at a time. Try not to arch up through the spine. If you are staying up, make sure that the knees just stay level with the hips, no further. We want to keep that work in the hip flexors. Abs pulled in deep. Going to go for another few reps. We're trying to work roughly for about 50 seconds for each of these exercises that we're doing this morning, with 15 seconds rest. And 3, 2, 1. And hug your knees in and imprint your spine. Okay, take some breath there. And then roll onto your front. And then you're going to lie low. So here we're stretching fingers and toes. And we can either start right arm, left leg. So get that one going. Or, a little bit more challenge, you can lift all the limbs. Or we could do a combination of the two. Yeah? Whatever you're doing, relax your gaze. Work from your center. Stretch your fingers from your toes. Listen to your body and think length. Trying to get as much range as you can, either in the singles or all the limbs up. Breathe. Work from your center. Last few repetitions. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. Take your knees a little wider and stretch back. Release the back again. Take some deep breaths into the ribs and then roll round onto your back again. Okay. And then this time, stretch those legs up. Okay. So we're going to keep the hands reaching up. And we're going to reach up for one, come back down, and then drop a leg. We're going to reach up on the out breath, keep the hands up and drop the leg. Okay, so we can do this, yeah, crunching and toe tapping, yeah, so you don't have to have the legs straight. Or we have the legs straight, we reach it up and down with the straight leg. So you breathe in as you come back. And stay nice and strong. Trying to get as much range as you can. Remember, we can do this, knees bent, curl up, toe tap, curl up, toe tap, or hands behind the head. Okay. Nearly there, last few reps. Keep those abs nice and strong. Try not to flare up through the ribs. Sending that middle and lower back down into the floor. And rest. Hug those knees in. And circle the knees out and round. So we're going to roll back round again. All right, and we're going to come to a low plank position. And we can either do this with the knees off the floor or the knees on the floor. Okay, so if the knees are off, we're going to have the feet together. We're going to tap out one leg, tap out the other leg, and then lift. And then we tap out, lift the other leg. You can have the knees down, do the same thing, tap, knee comes down, tap, and maybe kick. All right, so we're doing it. Keep changing those legs. Try to maintain a real stillness in the body. So we get a little bit of work into those inner and outer thighs as we're tapping out. Same time into glutes. Maybe we can do this with the knees down. We tap it out. Keep the body still. Abs pulled in deep. If you're doing it properly, it doesn't matter if you're doing it on knees or off knees. You should be starting to feel this work. Last few reps. Try not to lift the hips. 3, 2, 1. And stretch your back. And take some breath there, deep and wide into your back. Okay, so we're going to come down to the floor. A little bit more crunching again. Okay, so we're going to take the hands onto the knees, onto the thighs, keeping the knees nice and still. We're going to be crunching up to the center. Then we're going to be crunching to one side and then crunching to the other side. So center, side, side, center, side. So you're only going to get a small range of movement. Maybe on the central crunch, trying to get a little bit more. We can always do this with the hand behind the head. Give your neck a little support. Obviously, when you reach to the side, you're going to keep one hand behind the head. Breathe in to crunch, in to come back. Breathe out to crunch, and in to come back. Trying to get as much range as you can in all of these moves. Last few reps. 3, 2, 1. And hug those knees in and just take some breath. Curl the head up towards the knees and stretch your left leg long and draw the head and the knee towards one another. So we're going to do a single leg stretch. So it's a longer in breath as we swap legs, and then a sharper out breath. Breathe. Keep curled up, draw the knee in towards, as if you're trying to draw it right up towards your ear. Keep the body as still as you can so we're not rolling side to side. Last few reps, start to feel that burn. 3, 2, 1. And hug those knees in. Imprint your spine. And roll up. Okay, so take a breath. Take your hands behind, fingers facing forwards if possible. All right, and lift up to a tabletop position and stretch one leg away and lift. If it's too much with a straight leg, then tap. Changing legs, straighten out. If you want more challenge on this, you could go straight into plank and alternate legs. If we're doing tabletop, I'll do a few reps with one leg and change again. Keep those shoulders back and down. Hips lifted, chest lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lie back and stretch out. Stretch your arms out, stretch your feet out. Draw your abdominals in. So the next exercise we're going to do is a roll up, okay? So you may want to, as you come up, bend your knees and then reach for those legs and give yourself a little bit of support to come up, focusing on the roll back. Or we keep legs as straight as we can, hands over shoulders, chin to chest, roll up through your spine and reach. Concentrate on your roll back if the roll up is tough, which as I will always say it is. Okay, so remember where you need, bend the knees, hands behind, curl up, and then maybe on the way back, straighten the legs, roll back. Or if you can do the full, send that middle and lower back into the floor. And you get stretched forwards. Keep the chin tucked. Breathe all the way. Try to use as little momentum as possible. Keep the thighs nice and strong by pushing the heels away. Breathe. Slowly up and slowly back. And to use those hands behind the knees where you need. Roll up, then straighten out and roll back. Last few repetitions. 3, 2, 1. And hug those knees in. Take some breath. Head side to side maybe. And then curl the head up again. Take the hands behind the head this time and stretch one leg long and then the other leg long. Okay? Stay curled up and then just scissor those legs up and down. If that feels too much, bend your knees. Toe tap. Bring one foot back and then the other. Trying to keep the body as still as possible so we're not rotating into the pelvis. Stay curled up if you can. If it's too much, head can go back and hands on the floor. Where you can, stay curled up, looking towards the navel. Start to feel that burn. Keep breathing, full range with those legs where you can. Last few reps. 3, 2, 1. And take some breath. And breathe. Okay, good stuff. So we're going to place the feet on the floor with the heels tucked in towards the sit bones. Feet are hip distance apart. Okay, we're going to lift the hips up into bridge. Okay, we're going to keep the hands up. We're going to hold those hands up. We're going to come down. We're going to lift the legs and take a reach. Come back down. Peel up into your bridge. You're going to feel that you're probably going to start to move backwards a bit. I definitely am. And reach. I'll start a little bit further forwards. Okay, so hands stay up. Peel up. Lift the hips, squeeze through the inner thighs, squeeze the belly in. Good form, lift the legs. Curl up. Feet come down. Curl up into your bridge. Think about keeping those arms nice and pulled in deep. Lift the legs. So remember, the other thing you can do if you don't want to do those long legs, so you come up to your bridge, and we could just take it into a crunch there. Yeah? Keeping those hands up so we're not using the arms. So try to get your pelvic tilt, your pelvic curl in as you come up into your bridge position. So tailbone tucks and you peel up and you lift and you send the knees away. Nearly there. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And hug those knees in. Breathe. Okay, so we're just going to take some breath now. And we're going to take a stretch. Take the arms out to the side and let the knees roll out to the right and look to your left. Maybe taking a hand to the outside of the left knee, keeping the left shoulder down, and then swap sides. Look to your right shoulder. And breathe. Hug those knees in. Take your left foot on the floor, place your right foot on top of your left thigh. And then lift this left leg off the floor and reach through and pull up. So we're doing a figure of 4 stretch. Stretch it out around the hip joint. Head up or down, up to you. Foot could be on the wall as well if you're doing this, I was going to say at home, which I'm sure you are. And then you're going to swap legs, right leg down, left foot on top. And Really lifting this right leg up and pulling in. And breathe. So just keep pulling in, stretching it out, open up around the hips. And release. Hug those knees in. And take the legs out wide. So as wide as is a challenge to you. If it feels too much sitting up, then place something underneath the hips. And then just take a gentle stretch down. All right. Breathe. And then keep one hand on one leg and reach up and over and get a side bend. So we get a stretch into the side of the abdominal wall as well. And then we change and to the other side. And from here, if you can just try and cross the legs. Yeah. And then just take the hands forwards and stretch forwards. Keep reaching the hands forwards. Stretching into your lumbar, into your hips. Come back up. Take your left hand onto the outside of your right knee. Take your right hand behind and take a twist. Sit tall. Open up. And then change. And breathe. Good. Okay, so come around. Just come to lie on your front for a moment, taking your hands underneath your shoulders. And just stretch your toes away and lift your nose and your chin and your chest. Just take it into a little back bend there, just to lengthen out through the front of the body. And then come back down. Elbows tucked, toes stretched, thighs on, nose, chin, chest. And come up. And back down. And then from here, push up and stretch back into child's posture. Send your hips through to your heels and breathe. And then put your hands back, drop your head and interlace your fingers, if that feels okay, and stretch out through the chest and the shoulders. And then release. Take your hands to the front of the mat, tuck your toes, lift your hips, pull your belly in, and then down dog, pedal the heels up and down. Push the floor away, dropping the head between the shoulders. And just lengthen out through the back of your body. And then come to a high heel down dog. Inhale, draw the belly and exhale, heels down, push the floor away. And then walk your hands to your feet, keep your belly nice and strong, tuck your head in, and then roll up to restack your spine. Just come up and reach up. One hand up and we'll take a side bend. Reach up on the in-breath and exhale over. And as we did at the beginning, just a little twist, just to loosen off again. Tapping the body maybe. And that's it. Okay, you're done.